Good evening everybody, and welcome to one of the elevated parts of Auntsfield Estate in sunny Marlborough, New Zealand, the land of 30 million sheep, the All Blacks, and fine, fantastic, vibrant wine.
My name's Luc Cowley, Auntsfield's winemaker.
And I'm Ben Cowley, Auntsfield's viticulturalist.
Welcome to the JW Marriott and the Chaîne de Rôtissier dinner.
Before we go too far, I'd just like to explain the difference between a viticulturalist and a winemaker. And this is best illustrated in the analogy of an All Blacks team, the difference between the forwards and the backs. The viticulturalist is like one of the forwards. We do all the hard work, get down and dirty, and present the ball, in this case the perfect bunch of grapes, to the winemaker, who just dives across the line and scores the try and takes all the glory.
I'm not sure if the forwards in a rugby game talk quite as much as a viticulturalist, but I guess you can start to imagine what it's like working with your brother.
But seriously, we think the making of great wine is the interaction between the grape growing and the winemaking processes.
Yeah, we don't believe that stamping a big style on the wine through winemaking is what you should do. Our focus is on nurturing the grapes and allowing the wine to reveal Auntsfield's unique terroir. For us, that's the lowest clay soil and the ancient greywacke rock.
Auntsfield has a distinct geological terroir of old soils formed in the last glacial age when retreating glaciers carved out the valleys of Marlborough. The resulting very fine dust of ground up schist and siltstone was blown by the prevailing winds onto Auntsfield Estate. Over millions of years, this dust has gathered and compressed into loose clay, which has formed a hard layer of low fertility soil which sits over very old greywacke rock. This greywacke, which is really high in mineral content, was created when marine sediments of surrounding oceans were compressed and uplifted to form the hills of Auntsfield millions of years ago.
And it's these old soils which give Auntsfield wine its underlying European style. The loose clay gives texture and richness to the wine, while the ancient greywacke rock gives minerality and length to our wine.
But we weren't the first people to discover the old soils of Auntsfield Estate. This unique terroir was first discovered by a European, David Hurd, in the late 1880s. He realised that this old soil was similar to the great vineyards of Europe, so he decided to plant grapes here and make wine.
David Hurd was Marlborough's first winemaker, and this is his winery. Behind these doors, Auntsfield wine was made from 1873 into the late 1920s, and we still use it today.
And here in the old historic winery is where we keep our pride and joy. It's David Hurd's last remaining wine. It's a 1905 fortified port, and a small portion of this wine has been added into the heritage Pinot Noir that you'll be drinking tonight. This morning, with the help of David Hurd's grandson Felix Hurd, we completed the planting of Auntsfield's original vineyard. Felix Hurd is 101 years old and can still remember David Hurd making Auntsfield wine and the old vineyard that we are replanting.
The vines that we planted this morning are in the exact location of Auntsfield's original vineyard. And not only that, but these vines were grown from cuttings which we took from a vine which was the mother vine of the original vineyard.
It's only taken 135 years finally for us to get our wine to China.
But now's a great time for you guys to enjoy it.
I'm sorry we can't both be there, but Lorna Evans, the aunt of Auntsfield, will be hosting you tonight, and she can share some fantastic stories about Auntsfield and is extremely knowledgeable about the wines.
We will both be in China in September, and we hope to meet you all then.
In person this time.
Well, it's about time for us to go and have our dinner too. We're not going to be enjoying the Australian beef wagyu that you will be, but we will also be enjoying Auntsfield Heritage Pinot Noir.
With fresh New Zealand lamb. Cheers.
See ya.